So, why did the unknown manifest itself? What is the purpose? What's the purpose of life? And what happens after one dies?
Before asking question, let me tell you how to ask questions. We should learn first how to ask questions, where to ask this question, and then the solution will be useful. See, if I ask you a counter question, when you say, why have the unknown manifested? Don't you see that 2-3 things are there in your questions? That you are accepting, that you know already that it is the unknown which has manifested. So in that sense, you know the unknown. So once you know the unknown, does it still stay known to you? Unknown to you? Doesn't it become known to you? Then what is the basis of asking that question? Should I repeat? See, when you ask, why has the unknown manifested? So you are accepting 3 things. That you know the unknown, that it is unknown only which has become known or manifested. Manifested means the one which has come into being, emanated. So you are accepting that you know that it is the unknown which has manifested and it is not as it is. While the knowledge, we say in spirituality, knowing as it is. What is unknown, what is known, knowing all. So when you say it is unknown which has manifested, that means you are accepting that I already know that it is unknown. So once it is unknown and you say I know, so would you call it known or unknown? So it will become a dry exercise in 2 words. Why it is so, how it is so, there are things which you should consider. Why and what? These questions are asked in material field. Then you come to know the limitations of the materiality, if you follow them to a great extent, where the boundaries of known and unknown meet. Let me give you an example. So many scientists are, recently it was in news, maybe 1 or 2 years back or a few years back, that they were looking for this Higgs boson, which was so much in the news. They were saying that no, if you come to know this particle, then you come to know how the universe has been created. But after a point of time, they say we could figure out only this much. We could figure out only this much. Because what of anything you cannot figure out entirely. Even a single particle on this, in this, whether you call it creation, whether you call it existence, whatever word you give, whether you call it matter or mind, you cannot figure out what it is. Yes, you can figure out to great extent how things are happening, what is this, why, to a great extent, but not in absolute terms. So, why and what are asked in material world to make certain things better. When you know the mechanism of a thing, that H2 plus O is water, then you say, oh, now my journey is complete. But do you know what water is? You can break it into components, but can you tell what is water? Such a simple thing every day we are using. Ponder over it and you will understand what I am trying to say. So why and what we keep limited to the field of materiality and keep discovering and keep making new things. This is how the srijan happens. That is how the creation through man happens, or so many ways. Then there are when and where. These are the questions which touches spirituality and which are by and large based or grounded in materiality. So they are the points of transition, questions which make one's transition from material being to a spiritual being. And how and who, these are the two modes of asking spiritual questions. So had you asked how unknown becomes known, then it is a different question. Then there is an answer. But when you say why, no scripture, no living being, no guru can ever provide you such an answer, because he knows its maryada. He say, why the God incarnates? He say, idam itham kahi jaye na koi. You cannot say why this has happened. So they say Ram Janam ke hetu aneka. There are many reasons, not the absolute reason, Karan which we call. Karan, God himself is. Cause, all causes. So that whom you are referring to by any name, that itself is. So that way, we say that for the good, for the showing the victory of good over bad, pleasing the saints. So these are the primary ways which people have identified. Saints have come to realize that primarily divine incarnates to please them, to give them some satsang. Killing Ravan or Kansa is not his purpose. His purpose is to please the hearts of the devotees. So, such things, same thing you can say about the question you are asking. Because first you have to, as I said, ponder over the question. Can this question be asked even? So there are certain ways in which questions should be asked. Otherwise, to whom you are asking, you will keep a mum that someday person will learn how to ask questions. So in spirituality, it has been told from eons, and still that remains the same. That how to ask questions.